What's going on here is I'm in Swiss. It's a homebrew launcher for the GameCube, and when I hit A here, it's going to start running the Game Boy interface. Game Boy interface is basically a homebrew version of the disc that runs with the Game Boy player. So I'm going to hit A here, and we'll start the TAS, and Game Boy interface will start playing back a script of inputs that will deterministically give us the same Pokemon Blue run every single time. So you're gonna see B and A being held alternately as the intro is mashed because we don't have fast text on yet. We're gonna set the text options once we're in game. It's actually faster to open up that menu in the overworld than it is to open the options from the main game screen. So we're waiting to do that for a second. Now, a fun thing here, in Pokemon Blue, there's no actual battle with Pikachu going on. Oak gets you out of the grass before any battling happens. In the yellow TAS, a bunch of extra glitches happen because they didn't think of the fact that you wouldn't have had a Pokemon when you were doing that battle. And so a bunch of data gets loaded that's not supposed to happen. Oh, you're good, Amoeba. Don't worry too much about the timing. There's going to be some slight waits here. We need to get a very specific Squirtle. It needs to be... The Squirtle doesn't need to be perfect stats, but it needs to have nearly perfect or perfect special. It needs to have really good attack. And it also has to have certain like even or odd stats in order to make sure its HP is very good. Because we need to have a specific HP for the fight in the forest. We're gonna fight a Pikachu in the forest and get red bar off of it. So we're using Growl plus some 1 in 39 tackles here to knock Bulbasaur down in just 3 tackles. And now we are level 6. So yeah, usually you want to get experience on Route 1. None of that. None of that Route 1 experience. We're gonna get Nitto, and then we're going to get our experience on Squirtle in the forest off of a level 5 Pikachu. It's going to give us more experience than anything else could give us, and it's going to give us red bar. It's going to give us enough experience even that we'll get level 10 for Onix. Ninja, actually, crits will do less damage than growled tackles at the beginning of the game, because crits in Gen 1 do not strictly do double damage. They only do about roughly 1.5 times damage, which is also coincidentally how much more damage a Leer does. So, rounding can make one or the other better at different points.
Just worth mentioning as well that the box underneath Tikevin's name on the left is your input viewer, so you can see what the TAS will be doing this entire time.
Yes. There'll be some pretty crazy sequences of inputs, especially in the shopping, that will be very interesting to watch. Also, the TAS tries to avoid crits as much as possible because critting has that extra text box. So there's some points actually here where I don't crit to avoid the text boxes showing up.
Didn't talk to Oak from behind.
Nope, the left side and from behind are exactly the same speed. I tested that as part of doing this TAS. At least in blue. Behind it, you have to do in yellow because Pikachu gets in the way of Gary, the rival, if you go from the left. And so then there's a whole animation with Pikachu running out of the way. Ah, Gary's in my way. Yeah, who needs encounters? We don't need encounters. We're gonna go buy some Pokeballs.
People that want the NSC world record definitely don't want encounters.
Like, there. With that Pokeball buy, that is some fast mashing. Now, this sequence of steps, I actually botted. Pseudo Trainer and Stringflow helped me learn botting, and we found a very, very good Nidoran. It's extremely difficult to find, actually, a Nidoran like this by hand, so the bot was very necessary. It has, I want to say, like 6 DV defense, and then nearly perfect stats otherwise.
It's worth mentioning as well, the mashing for that Pokeball menu was so fast you can't actually see it on the restream because we're at 30 FPS.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
Every other input was lost, and it was every other input to match that fast.
Yeah, that'll happen. Like, the inputs in this TAS are so frame specific that you need to watch it at 60 FPS to capture every single input. Haha. Wave harkening back to the earlier race, we commented with Legend Eater getting absolutely bodied by IGT, but luckily when we reset from the beginning of the power on the console, we always have the same in-game time value. We don't have to worry about which one we happen to have saved on. Now this I'm extremely proud of, this Pikachu we find here. This Pikachu is only like a 3-frame delay. So yeah, what basically we've scripted all the inputs for this run, Snow Bear, or Shadow Healer, instead of the inputs being unplanned. So Pikachu doing a bunch of damage to Squirtle, now putting us into red bar for that final tackle. Now we're in great red bar, that'll help us save time. That's one of the last times in the entire run you will hear us not be in red bar. So this fight can be done a little bit more optimally if you find 1 in 39 critical hits. They take about a 1 in 390 chance, so they can be kind of difficult to find in the early game. So instead I opted to do the tail whip plus tackle and avoid the critical hit text boxes. Little bit of time loss, but potentially not possible to find anything better with the state of the RNG being so unlikely. It'd be like 1 in 390 to the 4th to get all the 1 in 39 crits. So even TAS is not perfect sometimes. So leaving the forest just around the 8-minute mark.
I suppose it is perfect if the other situation doesn't exist.
Yeah. It probably does exist, it just... This isn't fully botted. A lot of the RNG was still done by hand, so... It could still be improved. You'll see one of the places it could still be improved here in this Brock fight. But it has a very big payoff, the RNG that is found. So we don't need to swap here. We kill Geodude immediately with Squirtle. Very different from a normal Brock fight you'd see in RTA. And then, attacking the Onix without having swapped to Nidoran. I wonder what's going on here. I wonder how we're going to be able to get experience onto our Nidoran. And Squirtle's dead now. This could be really difficult. I don't know, and Nido's at 1 health. This could be pretty bad, guys. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this.
There was a noticeable pause in the middle of that fight, Ty.
Yeah, that was some RNG minute. Turns out getting a 1 in 39 critical on a Squirtle bubble is not the easiest thing to find. So that can be cleaned up in further TASs, but yeah, now we have red. We don't have red bar now, but we took 15 points of damage from the Onyx to get a lot closer to red bar, and we got Horn Attack. Now, an interesting point is, I didn't catch a level 4 Nidoran on Route 22. I caught a level 3 one. We have to catch the level 3 Nido instead of level 4. If you get the level 4, then that play with getting all the Onyx experience onto Nidoran doesn't work. It puts you to level 9 and you never learn Horn Attack. So you have to get the level 3 so that the Onyx experience isn't too much and pushing you out of learning Horn Attack. Again, using Leer here. Pretty necessary. It's faster still than some of our critical hitting. And now, outspeeding the Caterpie. Red Bar's gonna start to look pretty crazy fast with the way that the TAS can mash the menus. And that oh so satisfying 1 HP. Yep. Going into Short Sky at 1 HP in blue, don't see that one too often in RTA, but you'll see it here. Another great point is, so we see Tail Whip from Rattata. Anytime we need to stall like a half turn, give the enemy a half turn, we try to prefer them using moves like Tail Whip that have that fail text, because it's faster to say the enemy's attack failed than the enemy's attack missed text. It doesn't put like the name of the move. It says but it failed if it's a fail, but if you do, what's the other part? If the move misses, it says the name of the move missed, which is almost always longer than but it failed. Hey Crazy Jesse, we're back from the honeymoon. I got married last week Friday. That was fun. But now we are back and we are commentating this amazing TAS. I hope you guys like the sound of Red Bar. Oh, there was another long wait there. Yeah, that critical hit is like a 1 in 39 crit again. Gotta love those. Ignore the wait. Oh, Amoeba not quite beating the true gyro to the schedule.
GG, well played.
So yeah, 1 in 39 crits, the name of the game for this early game, and we're just going to keep using those to kill things way faster than you'd expect in RTA. Horn attack count, not even being too much of a problem. Like, often in RTA, you worry about how many horn attacks you use. That's really closely and tightly scripted here too. Our horn attack count is managed very tightly, but it's going to get us perfectly through Mount Moon without having to worry about Mega Punch. TAS does not need Mega Punch, mostly because we get Ball Beam before going to Nugget Bridge. Spoilers. So, we don't need the extra move to manage our power points. Which I just learned today, those are called power points. I thought they were called Pokemon Power for some reason. They're power points.
Yeah, so you got hit points and power points.
Ah. So yeah, Moon Manip without resetting because we are, like, again, everything's deterministic from when you power on the console, so we know exactly what's going to happen. We shouldn't get any encounters unless we do one. Which I don't think we don't need any in Mount Moon. Instead of getting a Paris, we get a Sandshrew outside of Mount Moon. The Sandshrew is a much shorter cry than Paris. Very helpful.
Skipped the rare candy as well.
Yes, we get 0 rare candies. They do not have any use in the TAS.
I think health points or hit points works, to be honest.
Yeah. So yeah, this one you don't see too often. The sub 16 nerd in or rocket in Moon. And yes, this is extremely dangerous, the way this fight is done in the TAS. Usually you wouldn't want to go into this fight at 6 HP, level 14. We start off Poison Stinging, actually. We want that Shake animation, and then we go back to Horn Attack, because we're going to be Horn Attacking the Zubat. So you can see that Horn Attack there. And now we are still in Red Bar through the rocket. Yep, talking to the rocket because we can continue manipulating encounters. And now doing the nerd fight without Nidoking. It doesn't actually save any turns to be Nidoking for this fight. So we can get away with being Nidoran. It might save like 1 turn, actually, but it's not worth it. Like the amount of time it takes to go get a rare candy is so much more than the time it would take, or it would be saved by being Nidorino or Nidoking. And now, after the Moon Nerd, we are getting Nidorino. And yeah, you're seeing that right. We get out of Moon at like 17 minutes. Little slight wait there as we're walking towards Cerulean. That is the manip we needed to do for the Sandshrew. Again, that Sandshrew having much better cry than the Paris typically used in an RTA run.
You also teach Sandshrew strength.
Yeah, you can teach it all sorts of stuff. I think that it has like 3 open slots. But you don't ever have to teach it Dig, because if you didn't notice while we were in Pewter, we bought enough escape ropes to never have to use Dig. We only can use escape ropes from the item bag. It's much faster than having to go in and use Dig in the Pokemon menu each time. So that's fun. We do have to swap Nido to the front. A great interesting point of inquiry here is it is slightly faster to be an instant text for the Misty fight if you could get perfect RNG, but it's only like a matter of frames. And it's so much more difficult to find the RNG for Misty if you have instant text, because we actually use the text itself as a way of causing delay. If you mash during text, it causes very strange subtle delays that help us change the RNG. And if we have instant text, it's really not possible to use that sort of manipulation. So we actually just avoid getting instant text for Misty and forego those couple of frames because it's so much easier to find the RNG without instant text. Glitching. Ah yes, the glitching of knowing exactly what's going to go on from power on of the console. I love it. Anyway, yeah, we're fighting Misty now with a level 17 Nidoking. Yep, so we actually take exactly to 3 there from the Starmie. It's pretty critical to take exactly to 3 and not any other HP value, just because we might have to take some more damage to maintain Red Bar on the bridge. And so then we use Ball Beam there. We need to get that Gen 1 Mist Ball Beam just to stay alive.
RTA runs for that strat when?
I had somebody look at doing it with Nidorino, and it's still not possible. You just die every time. Now you can actually do that strat where it looks like it's teaching Ball Beam extremely quickly from slot 4. You can do that in RTA, it's just really, really difficult to pull off. So people don't actually go for it in runs usually. You have to like hit down and then hit right while still holding down, and then hit release right and hit start while still holding down. And you have to do that all within like 4 frames.
How does that... what?
It's like reapplying the down press. It's really complicated.
Like 8 AM, I'm too stupid right now for this.
So there's that 8 damage there. That's why we needed to get hit to exactly 3 on Misty, so we could get hit to 1 from that attack from the Pidgeotto. And now we're going to be in instant text Red Bar for a very long time. And using the shake animation of Ball Beam as much as possible. That was to get instant text Gamma-Soul. He is glitching. Thank you, Araya. I needed a reminder of how much glitching I was doing. So yeah, Ball Beam's super useful here. You don't even need to crit things half the time. You do need to crit that one. And that one. A lot of these text boxes that look crazy fast, you can actually do pretty similarly fast in RTA if you know how to buffer the instant text boxes. But even that is really difficult to keep up for a long period of time because you're doing things on like single frame tricks. Oh, several Fion Shine. Several. Including an extremely, extremely interesting strategy in Rock Tunnel that will come up. Yes, this will be the fastest run of Pokemon Blue that has ever been done when it finishes. Of course, this TAS has been played before, so it will be exactly the same as the fastest run that has ever been done before.
I believe in the PB.
Peeb. It'll be the fastest timed by RTA. Thanks to Amuda.
Not at all cheating. You can't prove that Ty isn't playing this. So it's basically world record.
Alright, going into the final battle of Nugget Bridge at the 25-minute mark.
Snowbear, he could be trying to avoid making the trainer heal if there's a specific HP range. If you know you're only going to two-shot.
There are a lot of reasons to do that in yellow, actually, because in yellow the HP bars change color as they go down. So sometimes you'll do less damage intentionally to keep it in green bar, and then hit it straight from green bar to dead, so it never sees yellow or red bar.
Does it lose time to change colors?
Yep, 5 frames per color change, but that doesn't happen in red-blue.
Gross.
This does do Marowak skip. Mamma mia. Mamma mia.
Yeah, this is completely standard glitchless rules as they exist at the moment, including instant text.
Uh, 119 Mars, because of the way they implemented the engine, when the HP bar changes color, it takes 5 frames to do that color change. They just kind of like hacked colors into the red-blue engine pretty sloppily, and so it causes all these slight delays.
I mean, yellow's at its fastest on the original Game Boy Color anyway, so a TAS wouldn't be playing in color. A proper TAS.
Yeah, when is TASing the GB playback? TASing will do that to you, Wave Warrior. But so this actually is now published on TAS videos. They have a whole publication process going through submissions and such. So this is a 100% official tool-assisted speedrun. You can see that when we did instant text red bar thrash learn, we lost instant text because we have to click yes there. So we don't quite keep it all the way through this section. TM-less TAS. That sounds painful. How do you even beat Agatha? Oh, I should stop thinking about this before I think about it too much.
Let's do it. Let's figure it out now. Let's have it written by the end of this task.
So escape roping, like I was talking about there, back to Cerulean, where we centered before going to Misty, so that we would be able to get red bar off of Misty. Now going back to get instant text again, because it's very, very useful. Very, very fast. You can, Mamma Mia, but why would you do that when you can watch me commentate it live? And watch it be played back live on a real GameCube. So much more suspense. A neutrino could hit my GameCube at any moment and break the entire process.
You'd accidentally upward and set $1,000 bounty on it. I was going to make a joke about warping to a different game, but people have already glitched other games using Pokemon.
That is a thing, indeed. I love instant text full restore there. So clutch.
Instant text full restore? Oh, right, yeah. I'm slow.
Guaranteeing no encounters on the surge path. The re-record count? Okay, so we botted parts of finding this, so it's not really like reasonable to talk about the re-record count, because if I counted actually every time I restarted a path while I was botting, it would be into billions. So it's not really a reasonable metric to use for botted TASs like this.
I think TASs have stopped talking about re-record counts in general because people can just make them whatever they want to be.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest measure of anything anymore. Also, if you're saying about the 1-256 miss being a glitch, by the same logic, no run will ever be glitchless because there's things like badge boost and just you can't avoid glitches. Someone tried, was it Shenanigans that tried to do a truly glitchless run of this game?
Oh yeah, there have been some real shenanigans done by people like Shenanigans. With true glitchless runs.
You never actually finished a run. It's very, very difficult to avoid glitches.
Yeah. So our category definition is very, very weird because it's impossible to play the game without hitting glitches.
It's not. It's just unintuitive. Like it's a near perfect. Instant text is like the only thing people disagree on, but it's basically built up to be the best run that it can potentially be, as the community wants it. Glitchless is just a bit of a misnomer. It's like far less glitches.
Oh yeah, you guys lose like half the inputs whenever I'm doing the instant text button presses because they're 60 FPS inputs. But yeah, we just can 4-turn thrash this fight. It's way easier than usual. Because we can basically choose whenever thrash is a 4-turn, and we can also choose whenever each individual thrash crits. So we just set that all up from the first Pokemon and let it go. Very less glitch. Now, a thing I was talking about earlier with the red race is usually when you're doing cans casually, the first can is set when you enter Vermilion City, and they kind of get around that by resetting, and then when you reset is when you quote-unquote enter Vermilion City. So we actually have to manipulate the first can here from when we exit the boat. Yes, it will Fionshine. I do have some swag bouldering. And it's actually used for RNG manipulation. It has functional swag bouldering.
I love that people are like, oh, do we have any swag strats in this? Yes, but they're actually useful. As it's TAS.
stylish and functional. So yeah, this is the old low 35 Surge. Classic. Or is it a 34? I can't tell. Oh no, it's a low 35 in TAS timing. It's a 34 in RTA timing. Now we get our bike voucher because the bike is indeed faster than having instant text. And escape rope back to Cerulean. That should be some motivation for you, the Sinstar. And now we have our bike. What's a swag? Now, 4-turn Thrash Fight. Turns out we don't have to worry about how long Thrash lasts, so we just go straight to that. Again, we can basically pick how long Thrash lasts from the first use of it.
Would you ever want 3 turns?
I don't think it would ever matter to intentionally go for the 3-turn. Oh, you know, it would matter if we needed to do something different for HP management in the Lavender Tower. But I shouldn't give away that strat too much, because that'll be a real surprise to anybody who watched the Red Race earlier. I did not get instant text. I was just getting the bike there, Albie. Not having to worry about the Venonat range. So useful. And now we don't have to worry about repelling for rock tunnels. We can just use A presses and delays. It is indeed possible to go to the bike shop to get the bike. But now we've got Cubone and Slowpoke Alleyway. Oh, there'll be some fun stuff at Lavender Sinstar. You wait. You just wait. Oh, and yes, the next really big and crazy task thing to happen is coming up right now in Rock Tunnel. Coming up for you on this next fight. So basically what's going to happen is we are out of Bubble Beam PP. We are way out. we don't have enough for all the Hiker's Pokemon, so some bad stuff's gonna happen to us from the Hiker. I can guarantee you some very bad stuff will happen. We are entirely out of bubble beams. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I think this is possibly my favourite part of the task.
Wait, Thunderbolt? Self-destruct? But self-destruct Gen 1 missed. Thunderbolt? Oh no, self-destruct. Self-destruct Gen 1 missed again though. Again? 3 times! Triple Gen 1 miss self-destruct.
How long did that take to find, Ty?
Not nearly as long as it should have. I got very lucky on that search.
I think it's more than that chance because they have to select self-destruct in the first place.
Yes, they also have to pick the move self-destruct. So it's like a 1 in 3 or 4 to the third times that. And they're all, they're not independent events. They're all dependent events because of the way RNG works. So finding them in quick succession is actually not as difficult or easy as you would think.
One in 16 million. You just won the lottery, well done.
So an interesting thing I found doing the last pass through this TAS is that the menus seem to go a little bit slower with Thunderbolt in the first slot. I think it has to do with how long the name is and printing out the menu each time you select something. So whenever I do another revision of this, hopefully I'll have more time now that I'm not getting married anytime soon. I will have to not do that Thunderbolt swap and do some different move ordering. We do need that top elixir. It saves some frames, no turn frame in the next building here. Alliteration. You gotta stick to alliteration, Wave Warrior. Very critical. Also, buying 2 TM7s helps us for bag space concerns. And we'll do the same with Pokedolls. 2 Pokedolls?
Gee, Billy. Why did your mum give you 2 Pokedolls?
Don't need Rock Slide, but we do still need a fresh water to be able to get through to that next town. That is 2 alliteration, Wave Warrior.
You've only got...
It's repeated vowel sounds, right? Hold on.
No, alliteration's repeated first letter.
Is that how that works? Okay.
Yeah, so...
Is it consonants when you have the same vowel sounds?
It's like through the TAS is alliteration, but last pass doesn't. You've just got weird. You've got like every word rhyming there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Last pass is also like a slant rhyme.
Yeah, if the mod could just ban Wave Warrior for posting copy pasta in the chat, that would be great. Thank you.
Amazing. So yeah, the classic 44-minute fly. We do bike to the fly house. That's faster. Anybody who's not biking to the fly house in RTA should be banned. It is faster, even probably for most humans, to bike to the fly house. Oh yeah, we caught a Doduo. That's a thing. It's probably technically optimal to get Flyer earlier, but it's like a matter of individual frames. There's a trade-off between like a 30 frame delay for a Pokeball showing up in Cerulean if you were to get a Flyer earlier than Cerulean, versus the cry length between Doduo and Pidgey when they're, what do you call them? When their Pokedex cards show up.
No need for X accuracy when you have the option to not miss.
Also, when you have the option to thrash Lavender Rival. So pretty standard Rock Slide skip strats here, except that we can guarantee the criticals from Thunderbolt, so we don't have to worry at all about whether or not we die to the Ghastlies. And those criticals are actually pretty difficult ranges to find too. The Ghastlies do not always die to critical hits at this low of a level, since we haven't used any rare candies or any other form of getting extra experience yet. Now, not doing Heal Pad Skip. Heal Pad Skip's actually very slow TAS-wise. It's like, I want to say 40 seconds of time loss. 40, yeah, about 40 or 45. Then, we do still need Red Bar though. We're going to be doing a lot of fights, and we really want to be in Red Bar. But, how are we going to get Red Bar? I mean, do you know how we're going to get Red Bar? I don't know how we're going to get Red Bar. We gotta get Red Bar.
You caught me off guard. I was doing background stuff. What was the question?
Do you know how we're going to get Red Bar? I don't know how we're going to get Red Bar here. Might be a little bit difficult.
Just Rock Slide miss about 20 times.
You're on the right pace. We actually thrashed the Ghastly 4 times and get Nightshaded 4 times, and then Thunderbolt crit through Confusion. So now we have won the battle and have 5 HP.
So even in a TAS, we're still diluted.
So yeah, we do this strat in lieu of not having Red Bar for a while, and then centering in what's it, Celadon. We Gunner got that fight with Rock Slide. So yeah, you could also you could center in Celadon and then get some faster fly movement, but it's not worth it. It's actually just most optimal to have worse movement and like fly everywhere manually, and get get Red Bar back as soon as absolutely possible. And also just never center. It's more of a thing the developers just happen to allow. You have double input Pokédoll.
It's a point of contention. A little bit in the community. Because the Pokédoll actually works. as it's supposed to work. And it's a developer oversight that they didn't think you could use the item in that fight. So some people argue it is a glitch, some people argue it's a sequence break, oversight.
Hi Sky Galaxy, welcome to the Pokemon Blue Glitchless TAS here. We are getting through the end of the Lavender Tower stretch, using Thrash on some fights where you wouldn't normally do it in RTA. But we've got Red Bar, we've got Thrash, and we are go. Well, this run didn't exist until like a few months ago. The red race earlier would show you a lot of the newer stuff happening in RTA, but a lot of the strats actually used in this run are transposed from a TAS of the Japanese release of the game that went into the underground. So I actually had to make up a lot of new strats in the end game to accommodate for the less experience from the English route that we use, where we don't do the game corner. Oh yes, and people usually use red and not blue. Sorry, it's very late for me here too. So, yeah, people run red and not blue, typically. The TAS is faster on blue because of some shenanigans that happen with the way getting level 3 Nidoran works out. It would, in theory, like on paper, be faster to get level 3 Nidoran in red because it has a higher encounter rate, but it actually, the way it fits into the D-sum is way worse in red. Oh, this isn't something you usually get to see in RTA runs. This is called left cycling road. On left cycling road, you do this to get the max elixir in a more efficient way. It involves a lot less cycling than at the slow speeds on cycling road. Because when you cycle left right on cycling road, if you're not at the bottom or the top, it's at like half speed. So you really want to be doing that as little as possible, and doing it from the left like that lets you go a lot faster. Now you get to see TAS cut bushes. Yeah, so we don't have to teach Sandshrew or Sandshrew override a move because it'll learn strength without overriding. And now we are nearing the end of the Safari Zone at a wonderful 54 minutes into the run. Then walking back out of this house to use one of our lovely escape ropes, evading the use of dig once again. That actually helps with their item management too, never having to teach dig, keeping that dig TM in our inventory. And now one of my favorite things to see in any Pokemon speedrun. So favorite, in fact, I actually implemented it in the yellow glitchless RTA route. Thrashing the Juggler. And this works out great because you can choose, basically, again, like I said earlier, whether to crit or not on every individual Pokemon. So we crit the Drowsies, and then we don't need to crit Kadabra, so we just let that one normally. And then we crit the last Drowsy again. Now, also coming up here, okay, there is something I did not think of until too late for this TAS. Another revision of this TAS would have a different Koga Fight. The Koga Fight here takes 2 turns on a Coughing to kill it with Thunderbolt because we don't have quite enough Horn Drills. And it's not worth it to get an extra PP item and then refill our drill count. What we actually should do is drill that Coughing, and then instead of drilling the Wheezing at the end, we should have it Gen 1 miss self-destruct. I did not think about that until it was too late, though. So that's another thing on the list of potential improvements to the TASes. So you can see here how Thunderbolt takes 2 turns. That would be avoided with the rewrite. Oh, Curse 1701. If you think that's crazy, you missed the triple Gen 1 miss self-destruct earlier in Rock Tunnel that we used to get around the hiker. So we got a 57-minute Koga. Self-discredits.
Shoutouts to autocorrect.
Now getting that strength TM. I do not believe so, Snowbear. You mainly have to do that because you don't have any of the moves like Earthquake to kill those things. And even if you did, you wouldn't want to use a flash animation move.
Do you even get Earthquake in this run?
I do not.
Why wouldn't you? It's 100 base power.
We
And
do
stat.
use a rare candy there, candying to 37. It's necessary for some speed marks, along with getting that Koga. We rushed the Koga badge boost in TAS because we need that speed as soon as possible. So we do that before anything else after getting through the tower. And then we rush to the mansion because you can really do it whenever. But we want to go to Blaine, I think, next. Blaine, not very difficult to get through in TAS. I lied. We don't use any of like the normal rare candying points, but we do have that one there. Oh yeah, agility and all that stuff. Yep, skipping that rare candy. Skipping that rare candy, getting the secret key. Oh no, we got to Erica now? Or are we going to Sylph?
Can't let you playing along.
Sylph!
I don't actually remember.
I don't remember. It happens the same way every time, I don't remember. Yep, we have to go to Sylph now. We get a lot of experience from doing the Sylph fights. We are currently playing back live on a real GameCube, the TAS, but the inputs going to the GameCube are scripted, as that is what a TAS is.
Bless you.
That was my wife, Jen.
I figured.
She is staying up to listen to my antics.
I've been more impressed at your ability to keep talking through a sneeze than your TAS ability.
TAS sneeze. The sneeze actually overwrites the talking. It's like Red Bar. If you sneeze, it overrides the brain's ability to compute any other sounds. Jen admits to sneeze. Using Quick Attack from Pidgeot to modulate our Red Bar level.
How are you one-shotting everyone, though? Magic is this?
Yes, as Daily Leaf says, skill and magic, but to be technical, because the same thing happens every time as long as the same amount of time has passed from the console being on with the RNG and the same inputs being played, we know exactly what is going to happen, and we can pause every move to critical hit, not critical hit, hit through the 30% accuracy of one-hit KOs. All that stuff we can control completely because of the deterministic nature of the console. Wave, there probably should be more, I will tell you that, but I don't know of any. And if it is possible to reduce lag with the sprites in Sylph, it's probably RNG lag, so it's very difficult. It would be very difficult to control even in TAS. You'd have to play the same sequence back, losing frames earlier, hoping to gain them back by better RNG lag later. Yep, no need for Lapras with already having Squirtle. I would say most YOLO drills can be gotten within 1 frame of delay. And that's mostly because of what I was talking about earlier with, we can use the way that text is printed and take advantage of that to change RNG. So if we mash A on a specific frame while the text is printing, that will give us different RNG. The next frame, the second character text, that will usually also give us different RNG, and so on and so forth. So we get 15 different RNG states just from a text box printing quite often. And that'll usually give us enough variance to get a horn drill to hit without losing more than 1 frame. But often we can also change previous sequences of events and make there be no frame losses for several horn drills in a row. Just lining up a bunch of them to go the right way in a row. So for instance, like hitting 3 horn drills in a row would be 27 to, and like 2.7%, right? So we only need to do 100 different RNG states, like 1 frame delays earlier in the run, and we can get 3 horn drills in a row with only that 1 frame lost earlier. So there's a lot of tricks you can do to not lose more than 1 frame for several fights in a row. And we are now on to Blaine's Gym. Blaine's Gym being very annoying in Pokemon Red and Blue because the entire sequence of question and answer is happening every single question. It re-explains how the questions work on every single question.
I hope everybody's ready for Tombstone.
Yeah, a lot of this run was still found by hand, though. Mr. Wint has some programs that can actually find the entire run by a bot. I don't know, Stringflow. How do the questions work? Mainly, you just press A on the first one, then 3 Bs, and then A, and then B again. It's not me, it's the question who is wrong. Oh, this is a great example of why Bubble Beam is so useful, because you can continue using it into the late game in TAS. Getting these shake animations. And preventing us from needing to refill our PP sooner. Oh, Arcanine's so cute.
It's in the Pokédex as the legendary Pokemon. That is a great comparison, Sega Junkie. Gotta drill execute, nothing else can kill it in one shot. But luckily in Red Blue compared to Yellow, you can thrash the Erica fight
So that helps save some time. I have no idea how AJ. I really don't know how he's doing so well this time. He's so unpredictable. Kappa. Kaboosh.
We should have had a TAS command in prep for this.
That would have been helpful.
Yeah, I'm glad I thought of it. Just, 17 minutes before the run's over.
Alright, so what's coming up here with Sabrina is we're gonna be able to thrash the Sabrina fight actually, but what you'll want to pay attention to is how we maintain red bar on the last poke of the Sabrina fight. That'll be what you really want to pay attention to. I would say it's up there with the self-destruct Gen 1 misses in terms of insanity. Sheer mind-boggling insanity. So we don't outspeed Sabrina's Alakazam. We let him hit with Psywave, which will do anywhere between like 1 and 60 damage. We let it roll at 25, so it's just exactly to 1 HP, and then we crit it back with Thrash. And now we will never have to take damage the entire rest of the run, because we have perfect red bar all the way through the champion fight. With that set up from our... we actually have to set up a lot of things with. To set up our exact HP DV, which determines how much HP we'll have. And we have to set up that Psywave damage to get us exactly to 1 HP so that we will stay in red bar. And yeah, for anybody who's still wondering what is going on, this is a tool-assisted speedrun, so we're doing the same inputs from... Oh, you have to do a PSR commit add, apparently. Close. We're doing the same inputs from the power on of the console that we already had scripted, and then so we know what's going to happen with them. We know exactly the RNG they will get, including all of the critical hits, including Horn Drill not missing, all of that RNG. Horn Drill would normally be at 30% accuracy. We don't have to worry about any of it because we are playing knowing what is going to happen, having scripted the outcome in an emulator that is perfect to what the console does. Psywave has its own damage calculation, Wave Warrior. I think it actually has the ability to do it all at one. It's like a rejection sample between like 1 and the user's HP? Or not HP, level or something like that. And yet, usually TASs are done on emulators where you can control everything deterministically. This TAS was done on an emulator that is perfect to how the console operates for the purposes of Pokémon, so I'm able to play this back live for you guys on a real Game Boy player console using Extremes' Game Boy interface to send the inputs to the Game Boy player. They work in some buildings. Yeah, there's some... You don't want to manipulate to max damage, you just manipulate it to the damage that hits you to 1 HP. And it's really helpful because you can choose exactly 1 HP with it having that variable amount of damage. Yeah, it is also faster to escape rope on those warp tiles. That's why we walk there. So the classic 115 Giovanni split. And now we are moving on to Victory Road.
Hi, why did you not have a full bag so you didn't have to pick up the fissure?
What was that? Sorry?
Why did you have a full... Oh, I'm saying, why have you not got a full bag to pick up so you don't have to...
Oh, okay. Yeah, we actually need fissure. Yeah, we drop an item intentionally before going to Giovanni. And then we get fissure so that we can be able to beat Agatha. We need that ground type move to affect most of Agatha's Pokemon. So we go get fissure. And it's also very helpful in general for PP management for the Elite Four. Helps us use one-hit KO moves on a lot more things.
I suppose Elixir effectively gives you 10 PP back.
We go straight into killing Pidgeot here. It's a little bit better setup on Rhyhorn where we can get Tailed Fail. Like I was talking about before, but it failed being faster text than basically anything else that can happen, including Gen 1 misses. And look at that fissure on Venusaur.
You can't shout out yourself, Ty.
I did it though. Yep, super effective text, a bit annoying there, but necessary. We use fissure immediately after getting it to help us avoid refilling power points. No, in-battle RNG manips are not generally RTA viable. Sometimes extended manips go all the way into the first move critting. That's still extremely difficult for RTA people to pull off. Because it's literally a 1 in 60 FPS trick.
Just find big enough windows, easy.
Ooh, I'm hype. We're gonna see some swag bouldering. Some RNG manip swag bouldering. And some TAS strength uses. Very fast with that quick Sandshrew cry.
I can't wait for a bit of menuing after you fall through on that, just before the last boulder push, and you have to jump on the bike and strength.
That'll be some great menuing for TASing. There's a swag boulder. The best Pokemon. Lol.
Questionable opinion.
Immediately, you menuing there. So usually in a real run, you don't menu on ladders like immediately after you change rooms, because you need to buffer it after you've started the movement. The opposite is true in TAS. You want to menu immediately after changing rooms, because it will cancel a turn frame that would otherwise happen the first time you turn in a room. there's some different decision making going on when you open up the menu between the RTA runners and the TASers.
I've seen 3 swag boulders already.
That's not enough swag boulders. Strength. Elixir. Bicycle. Boom.
This man just swag bouldered on that lap. Ice cold.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that menu was disgusting.
Nasty.
So how difficult is RNG minipping knowing?
That particular one was bad. Like, using 5 swag boulders for RNG minip is pretty bad. But really, it just depends on the run. Like, sometimes you get, like, really good fights and really bad encounter luck. Sometimes you get really good fights and really bad encounter luck. So, each run will treat you differently, and I've seen some pretty crazy stuff. Yeah. TAS timing getting into the Elite Four looks pretty crazy, not gonna lie. Fast PC is just mashing B in a certain way, so that you also play yellow, but yeah, in yellow, if you mash B at the right timing, then you won't have the PC jingle as you lead. You can also swag PC, which may or may not save time. So a lot of the PP management here being used to make sure we super effective or not very effective, as little as possible. So bubble beam being used for that shake animation where no OCO text, just the shake animation with super effective text. Then we Thunderbolt crit Hitmonchan, so we don't have an OCO, we just have the crit text. Same for Hitmonlee. Yeah, I don't know if you can do it on all PCs, but it's a thing that Shen did. Alright, we got Agatha. And now here's our big payoff for letting us get Fissure from Giovanni. X speed on Gengar, Hypnosis doesn't affect, and now we can Fissure now that we are faster than Gengar. Now an interesting thing that the older TASs of Pokemon Blue did was, instead of getting X speeds, they just used Bubble Beam the entire run, not only for the use of power points, but also for speed falls when they needed something to be outsped to get Horn Drill or Fissure to hit. I think it's faster to buy X speeds, and especially if it's Agatha fight. Ball beaming for the speed fall loses a turn, and doing that twice in this fight over X speed setup really doesn't seem optimal. So there's our max elixir payoff. And now we are up to Lance. How are you doing, Amoeba? Wait, you waking up yet?
Yeah. I'm just amazed by this. I'm hyped for the sub 130.
Same.
Think
It's always fun to watch. Alright, no need to worry about Hydro Pump miss because we can go straight into Thunderbolt crit on Gyarados. Then Fissure actually works on the Dragonairs. They don't have any flying type, so we can just Fissure them. That helps us with our managing not very effective and super effective text on the next battle. Then Aerodactyl, we use Supersonic Fail into Thunderbolt. Critical hit. And now we can drill Dragonite.
I didn't even know that Aerodactyl had Supersonic.
He doesn't in yellow. I think he just does in red-blue. If I remember correctly. But big thing here. If you're back at Sabrina, we set up our red bar so we never had to manage getting hit again, and that is exactly what's going to happen here. We will stay in red bar just barely through the champion fight from all that setup we did back on Sabrina. The mirror move fail there. Very fast text from Pidgeot. Or Pidgeot, as some people I've heard say.
Incorrectly.
Now, another important point here is that the animations have been forced back on, even in TAS. We cannot stop that. So we see the ball beam animation on Rhydon. Get that quad effectiveness, ball beam. Horn Drill on Gyarados. So a lot of the setup for PowerPoints is also to manage our being able to use Horn Drill as much as possible in this fight because it has a much faster animations on animation than the other moves. And we did it. We have beaten the champion. Played back live for you guys on the Game Boy Player. The Pokemon Blue Glitchless TAS. If you guys liked this, I have a full commentary on my YouTube channel. There's a publication with full description of everything that's done in the TAS over at TAS Videos. They have a bunch of other cool TASes if you like Pokemon TASes or any other kinds of TASes. And yeah, I'm really glad you guys watched.
Yeah, thank you very much for the task, man. I'm just going to let it go to the Hall of Fame. I think this estimate's going to be nearly spot on. Yeah, but if you put the exact time down, if it spoils it, you know, take a rough estimate's good. What is the final TAS timing on it?
The TAS timing is 1:29:53, and that is it's actually about 10 seconds faster than we thought when we played it back on Real Console. There's some weird shenanigans with when you go through doors in Pokemon Blue and Red, or really anything. It turns off the screen, and on the Game Boy, when the screen is off, the concept of frames don't exist anymore. Like, if the screen is off, there is no frame being generated to time a frame. So, timing the length of a run by frames doesn't work. You have to time the length of a TAS on a Game Boy by individual CPU cycles. And if you do that timing, it comes out to 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 53 seconds, and that's how long it takes to play it back.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's what happened for you guys there.
So thank you very much for that, Tasman. Definitely check Ty out on his stream. You stream quite a lot of your TASes, don't you, for commentary's sake?
I will be again, hopefully. I had been, and then I got married, and the wedding preparation slowed down my streaming quite a bit. But I will hope to be back streaming more in the future.
Yeah, give this man a follow, and stick around, guys. We're going to be transitioning over to an intermission, but as soon as we can, we're going to have Garfield the Lightning running Pokemon Diamond